don't think I've actually spoken to you yet on this vlog. Apologies. Actually, let me turn you around. Yeah, I don't think I've actually spoken to you yet on this vlog, but we're in Edinburgh. It is, as you can tell, I have just woken up. It is our first full day in Edinburgh. We arrived yesterday afternoon. We got on the train at sort of 10 to 9, got to Edinburgh at 1 o'clock, went and found some lunch. I put some clips in at the Newtown Deli, which was the perfect lunch spot, like just classic, simple but delicious soup and sandwich sort of situation. It was lovely. And then we came to check into our Airbnb, which, should I give you a tour? It's a little bit messy. And then we had a little wander down to Stockbridge, because our Airbnb is like just outside the Stockbridge area. Again, I'll put some clips in, or I will have put some clips in of that. Stumbled upon the Stockbridge market, which I just didn't clock that it was Sunday and the market would be on, because it's on every Sunday. But that was really lovely to have a little walk around there. And then we walked down the river, the Leith Walkway. Yeah, that's what it's called. And then we came back and I did a little bit of work. We had a bit of a chill time, and then went for some dinner at Tipo, a pasta restaurant, small plates Italian restaurant on Hanover Street, I think. And it was absolutely incredible. Again, I'll put some footage in. It's about 7:30. I've just been in bed doing a little bit of work, had a shower, got myself ready for the day, and then we're gonna head out and grab some coffee, because there are so many good coffee spots near our Airbnb. And I'm gonna come back, do a morning of work, a morning of client check-ins, get through as many as I can, because we are then heading for some lunch with Josh's new company that he's moving up here to work for. And they're taking us out for lunch, which is so lovely of them, and so, but it's just a lovely gesture of sort of welcome for us, which is really nice. Going for lunch with them, and then this afternoon we've got our first 2 flat viewings. So I don't think I've even said why we're up here. We're up here because we are spending the next few days viewing as many flats as we can to hopefully find our new flat to move into in May, because that's when we're moving up. If you don't know, we're moving to Edinburgh in May. I explain more about that in my Sunday reset vlog that I put up a couple of weeks ago. So if you want more of the intel as to why we're doing the move, go and watch that video. My arm is getting very, very heavy now. It's so annoying. I forgot my vlogging camera, which was like, this trip was one of the main reasons why I bought it in the first place. Like these next few months, there's so much going on, and I wanted to vlog it all, sort of as memories and keepsakes, and also as a way to show like how I navigate fitness and well-being and healthy eating whilst life is so crazy. But I forgot it, which is not ideal, because now the video that was meant to go up before this video of my 10k race will be delayed, which means this video will be delayed, because all of the footage is on that camera, which I was going to edit on the train up, and then I realised that I don't have the camera. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? What was I talking about? Yeah, we've got our first couple of flat viewings later this afternoon, which is very exciting, and then back for more work in the evening, and that's going to be our day pretty much. So come along with us. Just in the middle of doing client check-ins for the morning, having a little breakfast break. So we're going to go for some Greek yogurt and a fuck ton of berries, essentially. Had an oat flat white from the coffee shop this morning, which was really nice. And yeah, like I said, we're heading out for lunch this afternoon with Josh's new company, and I know that that's going to be relatively high in calories, and I might not be able to make, massively healthy choices depending on what's on the menu. So I want to keep breakfast as light as possible so that I can then, offset the calories a little bit. Because I've been dieting for the last 4 weeks. I'm not going into this week with a really hardcore dieting attitude, but I also don't want to completely fuck up the progress that I've made over the last 4 weeks either. So making little compromises like this will just help me to keep overall calorie intake lower across the week whilst we're here. Also going to have some electrolytes as well to help with the energy levels. I was doing check-ins outside, and then because it's lovely gorgeous weather and there's a lovely little private courtyard with our Airbnb, but the builders had other ideas and they started drilling pretty much the moment I started filming check-ins, so that was not ideal. But yeah, gonna get stuck in, gonna have breakfast and then get back into check-ins. Okay, lunch has been had. It was absolutely incredible. We went to a place called Scrannon Scally on Stockbridge High Street. Would thoroughly recommend. And then I've just gone to view our first flat viewing, which incidentally is also my favourite flat, sort of on picture, that we've booked to see whilst we're here. And yeah, I absolutely love it. Josh didn't come because he was still with his new work colleagues for the day. So I took lots of videos, lots of footage. Cool. But I am absolutely obsessed with it. I love it so much, and I really hope we can put an offer in and get that offer accepted. And now I'm walking on through the city to the other side of the city, essentially, for our next viewing, which probably couldn't have been much further away if we tried, but it's fine. I get to do a nice little walk through the city, so I'm away there now. I've had to take my coat off, it's too warm. I feel like that's worth documenting when you're in Edinburgh. The fact that it's too warm to wear a coat. So I mean, like, you literally couldn't ask for more perfect weather, and I genuinely don't believe there is a nicer city to be in when it's this kind of weather than Edinburgh. It just like sings. The city actually sings, in my opinion. I can hear it. Just waiting for Josh to get here to go to our second viewing, second of 3 of the day. We've got this one and then another one pretty much straight afterwards, back over on the other side that I had my previous viewing. So lots of travelling up and down the city today, but it's really exciting. So that first flat was absolutely fantastic. It was stunning, right at the top end of our price range, but it was worth it. Like, it was so gorgeous, and the rest of them have got a lot to live up to. Big shoes to fill. My standards are very high off the back of that first one, so yeah, we'll see what this next one's like. So that second viewing was a bit of a fail because the letting agent never showed up. Well, he didn't give us the actual number of the flat that we were going to view in the first place. So we knew the road that it was on, but we didn't know the number, and it was a big old road with a lot of flats. So walking up and down it for ages trying to figure out which flat it was, and then we rang the letting agents and said, we're meant to be viewing a flat right now and we can't find anybody, we can't find a flat. And they just never got back to us. Like, the woman that we spoke to said, oh, I'll try and find the guy that you spoke to, and nobody ever got back to us. So we're like, right, well, we've got another viewing to go to, so we're gonna leave. So we're now in the taxi on the way over to the third and final viewing of the day. And we are done for the day. Well, not technically, because I still have a call a little bit later on with an Accelerate member. But yeah, third flat put a real spanner in the works, guys. It was a good one. It was a good one. And then, yeah, just been camped up in Starbucks for the last couple of hours with a peppermint tea because their coffee sucks, and finished client check-ins for the day. And yeah, got one more client call later this evening, and then we've got a big old debrief to do for those flats that we saw, because the first two flats that we've seen are two extremely strong contenders. So yeah, we'll see where that leads. Good morning. It is Tuesday. We're on full day two of the trip, and we've just had a walk to go and get some coffee. We went to the Cobbled Roastery on Thistle Street, which is really nice, and we're on a mission to try one new different place for coffee every day that we're here. So yeah, today was Cobbled Roastery. Yesterday was Archipelagos Bakery, I think it's called, on Hanover Street. Could have totally butchered the pronunciation of that. And now we're back, and I'm in the gorgeous little private courtyard that comes with our Airbnb. On a little sort of garden table, and it is another absolutely beautiful day in Edinburgh. I'll be quiet for a second so you can hear the birds. Oh, it's just so gorgeous, and we've been so lucky with the weather so far. It's meant to be like this for the whole time that we're here. Like yesterday, I was walking around with my coat off, like you saw. It's just incredible, and putting such a positive backdrop to what is already such a positive, exciting experience. But yeah, I am out in the garden because I've got to crack on with my Tuesday one-to-one client check-ins before we then go and look at our first and only flat viewing of the day. And this one is not out in Murrayfield, it's in Murrayfield, which is a little bit further from the centre, but looks like an absolutely gorgeous flat again. We put an application in last night for the one that we saw yesterday, for one of the ones that we saw yesterday. So we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, let's get cracking into check-ins and then cracking into the rest of the day's antics. So, when was the last time I updated you? We went to do another flat viewing, and we really liked the flat. It was quite a strong contender. In fact, a very, very strong contender. But I think we have a pretty much definite favourite, and we are now going to head off to go back to the area of our favourite from yesterday and just explore the area in a little bit more detail. I've just done another block of client check-ins on day 2, and yeah, we're going to head out on the most incredible day. I'm still not over this weather, and check out the area of the flat that we are 99% certain on, and just have a wander, have a mooch, see what's about, and probably probably get a little drink whilst we're out there as a little premature celebration. And I mean, we've got so many flat viewings booked in for tomorrow and Thursday still, but none of the ones that we're looking at over the next couple of days sort of give us as much hope and excitement as the one that is our current pretty much definite. So whether we actually go to those viewings or not is still in question, but we'll see. But for now, let's go and explore the area that we will very potentially be living in. Very happy campers who have paid a deposit for their new flat in Edinburgh, who are now off to get some celebratory Thai food and alcoholic beverages of choice. I don't think I actually spoke to you yesterday, apart from telling you that we went on a run. So I think yesterday was just a whole load of montage. But it is the final day in Edinburgh. We are heading home today. We're heading home. Got a train at 12. We actually just moved. We actually just bought new tickets because our original train was at 4. Because we'd planned to leave as much time today as possible to go and do viewings. But we don't need to, so we've bought new tickets, which are actually really cheap, for 12 instead. And yeah, we're gonna go grab some breakfast at the pantry in Stockbridge, which I've heard incredible things about. I think my sister-in-law actually recommended it or suggested it as a spot to go. And then we're gonna get the train and we're gonna go home for now for another month or so, back to London. You're currently resting on a stand full of tour guides in the Airbnb. I slept for nearly 10 hours last night. I slept for 9 hours and 47 minutes last night. And I've woken up feeling like an absolutely fucking new woman. It is so incredible. We've walked average of 20,000 steps for the last 4 days. So I'm not surprised. It's been a busy time since we've been here. But yeah, normally when I don't necessarily need to get up for anything very early, I won't set an alarm because I know that my body clock will wake me up at 6 o'clock, absolute maximum anyway. I categorically do not sleep in past 6 o'clock. That's just not how my body works. So I just don't set alarms on days like today. And here we are. Woke up at 8 o'clock. Good job I didn't need to be anywhere because I wouldn't have been there. Yeah, we're just packing away And this Airbnb has been fine, like it's done the job. But the people who run it have not been very sort of accommodating whatsoever. Yeah, I'm excited to leave a bit of a shitty review on the train home because they've just not been very good. Like on the first night when we got to the Airbnb, it was absolutely boiling, like it was roasting hot, and it was really warm outside, so it wasn't like a welcome relief. It was like we've come out from the warm, we're coming into a fucking sauna. We went to sleep and the room was really hot. We couldn't find a fan, and there are no windows because it's a basement flat. There's only the French doors that open into the garden. There aren't any other windows that we could have opened, so we had to keep the doors shut, obviously because of security. And we both woke up after about 2 hours of sleep because we were both absolutely boiling hot. So I messaged the people who run the Airbnb and said, you know, is there any way we can turn the heating down? Because also the main room is the same room as the boiler, so that's why it was so warm. So we said, is there any way we can, you know, make it cooler in here? And they said, well, you can put the fan on in the bathroom, the ceiling fan, like the extractor fan, of which the bathroom is on the other side of the flat, so it has absolutely no immediate bearing on the bedroom area. And we said, well, that's not going to work, is it? And shock horror, it didn't work. So then they replied saying, well, you can just open the doors. Sorry? At midnight? In the middle of Edinburgh, we can just open the doors and then fall asleep and then go to sleep. Are you joking? And I said, look, we'll figure it out tonight, but tomorrow, please can you sort a fan to be delivered, like a fan. And she replied saying, I'll do my best. And then she replied again the next morning saying, unfortunately, because it is still, how did she word it? Unfortunately, we cannot provide a fan at this time because it's still winter months. It's the 1st of April, hun. It's 15, 16 degrees outside. In what fucking world do you consider this to be the middle of pissing winter? Yeah, we've had to be sleeping with the French doors open every night since we've been here to keep it cool. So she's going to get a shitty review. Thank you very much. Okay, enough moaning. I'm going to get ready and then we're going to head out for some breakfast.